Hi everyone, welcome to the Adventure Archive. I am Evil Andy XO, and I will be your Dungeon Master tonight. Welcome back to Theros, Tomorrow's Twilight, our campaign set in the Theros setting from Wizards of the Coast for Dungeons and Dragons. With us tonight, we have some old faces and some new faces. Let us introduce our players. You know him from our Dark Kingdom setting. You also might know him from his writing. Be sure to check him out. But tonight we have with us Jason. How you doing?
I am great, and I am playing Periergos, Bard of Akros, now much happier on tomorrow's Twilight.
Excellent. You also know him from the Darkest Kingdoms, where he plays a Russian Christopher Walken. Welcome, Matt.
Good evening. This is Nico of the Twilight. Get your hand out of my cookie jar.
Excellent, excellent. Returning for her third session, my favorite neighbor, and you know her from chat, Janelle.
Hi, I'm Fakira.
What class is Fakira?
Fakira is a satyr warlock.
Excellent. You know him from Late to the Show Entertainment, his Night Owl Gaming campaign, where he's trudging through 80 or 90 game backlog. He is also the leader of Night Owl Squadron. Sir, yes, sir. You know him, you love him, L2S Christian.
Hello, and I will be playing Fornaze Dinata, the barbarian from Oreskos.
And another one of our DK regulars, the sly and always cunning Sylvester. Oh, hey, Melee. Late to your own channel. Well, we're glad you're here. Eric, tell us about your character. Oh, and another Adventure Archive tradition. You are muted, sir.
That was for Melee.
Yeah, that's for Ryan. You're still muted. Nope. Eric is playing Brazino, the Paladin of Heliod. We'll get his sound fixed up here in a second. But let me catch everybody up on where we are right now. So, a portent of doom has been foretold.
Can you hear me?
There we go.
There we go.
Go ahead and introduce your character, Eric.
All right. Sorry, it didn't say I was muted. It's really weird. I am playing Bruzino the Fourth Jr. He is a Leonin Paladin of Heliod.
Excellent. So where we find Brazino the Fourth is sitting in a bar in Alekos, the bar named the Pacho, and this bar is in the middle of the city Alekos, one of the last cities left of the Olantan Empire, which was destroyed in antiquity by Heliod, the god of the sun, for their hubris. Today, Alekos is in great peril. A portent of doom says that on the longest day of the year, the summer solstice, that the people of Alekos must raise their voices in joy, or else perish in sunfire, along with the hopes of all of Theros. Well, there are so many problems facing Alekos right now that them raising their voices in joy is almost absolutely not going to happen. But to try and save the day, the crew of Tomorrow's Twilight has arrived. A mercenary company and a theater company all in one, with 3 days, one of which has already ended, so 2 days left, to try and lift the spirits of the people of Alekos and turn their fate, and potentially the fate of all of Theros. On the first day, they had gone to the beast, the lair of the man-eater beast, a Nyx-born chimera called the Chromanticore. Not a chimera, sorry, it's a manticore, Chromanticore. And slew it and took its head, meeting a strange mage in the process who told them to stay out of the way and that Alekos was doomed. They made their way back and into the city triumphantly. But even in their success, there still was quite a bit of negativity around the city. So they decided to regroup and went into the Pacho to have a meal and a drink. And that's where we find ourselves now. Barnaby and Agitha, the Leonin portmaster, have come in to join you and brought a sack of wine for you to split as well. Barnaby says to the group, You slayed the beast. How did that go? You look fine.
Very excellent. I mean, you can see we are unscathed.
I heard it made its home high in a mountain peak. You made it back that quickly. That's impressive.
That was the most treacherous part, I believe.
Well, good. Unfortunately, bringing the beast's head back didn't seem to turn the city's fortune around, but I guess it's one small step. We still have 2 more days. I wish Captain Morrow would turn up, but she was supposed to be back last night, but she's still missing.
Most curious.
Agitha seems to, sit there, keeping quiet, but, agitated, like she has something to say.
I look at her and say, you have something to say.
Do you have something to say?
You have something to say.
Push. We're very thankful, heroes, but there are still many problems facing Alekos. Are you going to rest up, or do you think you are going to be able to fight more?
Well, as true heroes, I believe we will press on. Am I correct, my friends?
Well, I am ready.
Yes.
We are rested and we are fed.
Well, why don't I tell you then about some more problems facing Alekos? First, let me get to the right page. As she opens up a big old book of scrolls and starts pulling them around and flapping them all over the place. Okay.
I have these handouts.
So there, of course, is still the issue.
Oh yeah.
Of the Strations at the gates. Let me move this down. As you know, there is still an army of Acroans who are camped in a valley near here, making us very nervous. The booming noises have persisted, and we are scared. And also remember that this has a 0 to 10% reward, and you can look over the various pluses or minuses of sending the ushers or the players, because the stagehands are still busy rebuilding the Temple of Karametra. Okay. It's time for a new problem. There is, of course...
Ooh. I like that.
Blessing of the Snake God. A sickness has spread through the settlement. It resists magic and conventional healing. Farika has truly cursed us. We pray to Efara for solutions, but her ears are deaf to us. Aid the people of Alekos by helping heal their sick or discovering the source of the sickness. Reward 4 to 8%. And some additional things in there as well. Okay. So there's a new one. Here's a fun one. Oh goodness. Let me bring it down into view. The Sinister Secret of Selekos. Does anybody get that joke? No?
Yeah, Salt Marsh.
It's a D&D joke.
Yeah. Yeah, 80s.
Yeah. Okay. As if we didn't have enough to worry about, now someone has spotted returned near the ruins of Cacao. I don't believe it. I bet it's just bandits pretending to be returned to scare off farmers or any nosy looky-loos. Why do I think that? Well, because when returned come this far south, it's for just one thing: to kill the living. The person who reported it also said that they saw a blue-robed person skulking around the estate. Still, someone needs to take a look. If it's returned, we have to fight them as far away from Selekos as possible. 5 to 10%. Question marks across the board in terms of how your other resources would handle it. Yes, this is a secretive one indeed. Then
You have so many problems.
Oh,
Good. It's a very good thing we are here, no?
yes, you are the only heroes around, so we're so happy that you could help us.
It's a buffet of problems.
It's a buffet of problems indeed. Okay. Agent of Horizons. Some mystic is in the streets foretelling doom. Normally we wouldn't pay that no mind, but times being what they are. His name is Crofetes, and he's going on about a lost artifact of the Archons that could doom us or save us. You're the only heroes around. Not sure you have time, but might be worth a look. Look for Crofetes at the Grand Temple. Speak to this mystic and retrieve this fabled artifact. Reward 2 to 10%.
Do we know that the Grand Temple is here in Selekos?
Yes. The Grand Temple is the name of, like, a temple that serves all of the gods. So it has shrines in it that, it's a way for people to worship and give sacrifice to gods that people wouldn't really want a temple of in their city. Like, there will be a shrine to Mogus there, and there will also be a shrine to Phoenix there as well. But, you know, people wouldn't want a temple of Phoenix in their city because obviously bad people are attracted to those. But occasionally you want to give a sacrifice or an offering to Mogus to avoid things like destruction.
And as heroes, does it seem like we could get something done in Selekos pretty quick and then move on to one of the other things, or would we know that?
You can ask from a meta perspective. Each one of these are basically
a day,
a session's worth of something.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
So basically, you have. Let's line these out in no particular order. You have Stations at the Gate.
Yep.
Let's see here. Blessings of the Snake God. The Sinister Secret of Selekos. So, and do we have any open quests?
Defeat the Blue Mage.
Yes, the Blue Mystery.
Mm-hmm.
The
And
Blue
he appears
Mystery.
to be part of the Senator's secrets, no?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's a good lead, at least.
Could be 2 for 1, as they say.
It's possible. 15% for the reward. And I think there's still civil plea open as well, and that's what your builders are working on. Yes.
Yeah, those are the stage hands, right? Yeah, the stage hands are the builders. Okay. Should we not go to the temple and maybe seek out what is closest to us first to see if we want to pursue it further.
On our way over to the ruins, perhaps?
Well,
See what he has to say.
Oh, the ruins are outside of the town, though, are they not?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean, like,
But the temple, the grand temple, is in the town.
Yes,
right?
it is.
So yeah,
Yes, indeed.
let's seek out this
Yes,
graffitis first, and then let's decide after we hear what he
Our
has
feet
to
have
say.
walked many steps. I agree with you.
Mm.
should we tell the players to go chat with the Thracians?
It is kind of interesting that players seems like they could deal with the Agent of Horizons, or they could maybe deal with the Thracians. Either situation, they're not going to be great at it, but they're not going to be terrible either.
Yeah.
I may have a history with the Thracians that may help or hinder. I cannot say at the moment, though.
After what happened in the last encounter we had, I'm not quite sure.
So, something to consider is if you send the players to take care of the Thracians, the max that they can get is 5% on that. Not saying
For Agent of Horizons, what's the max?
It is
10.
10, but it's variable, and it would be a straight roll on both
So,
of them.
yeah, with Agent of Horizons, like to meta this a little bit, right? Like,
Sure.
there's only two situations that the players basically they don't have disadvantage or advantage, but everything else they have disadvantage. So
Yeah.
we got to pick one of them. And so to me, like Agents of Horizons, it's like a safer bet. It's like the same amount of time, and they could fail either way. But if they're successful,
Bigger
even
possibility of reward.
it's a higher reward for the same gamble.
Yeah, but the
Right.
stagehands only have 1 day available. And if we use them tomorrow on the Agent of Horizons,
But there's a couple things
they
they
at
have.
least have advantage.
Is that the only thing they have advantage on them?
It looks like it.
Oh, I like where you're at there. I like your thinking, little lady.
Yeah.
All right. But it is possible that we could send them in and they all get killed, though, right? By the Thracians, because that's like a war type.
So we would be moving.
But the display, I do not believe, is for violence.
Oh. Hmm. Well, all right then. I like the idea of maybe saving the Agent of Horizons for the stagehands when they get back, take advantage of their skills.
Mm.
Okay.
I should have known that as a stagehand myself.
So what I hear is you're thinking of you're going to save Agent of Horizon. Are you going to send the players, the actors, to any of these quests right now?
I mean, we should probably send them to the stations. We've only got 3 days, so.
Okay. Excellent.
And I feel like handling Blue Dude is probably primarily
That's
good.
us, yeah.
Since he's very obviously working against
Well, I think
us.
it says it's only we can do
He
it.
knows you,
Yeah.
Fakira.
He knows of us.
He knows
Really?
of you.
No.
I think he fancies you.
Oh,
Kira?
heck no.
When he has my spear, I want my spear back.
Stuck,
Pull it out.
stuck in his
learn
legs.
to fly, my friend.
Excellent. Okay. So what about the ushers?
Yeah, the ushers. We have one more group.
So the ushers have disadvantage on blessings of the snake god.
Oh.
And what was our other one? So you're
There
gonna
was-
go. You're
There
probably
was the sinister secret, but everything was question mark.
yes. Everything's question mark.
That's kind of what we're
and-
doing.
Their specialty.
You might go do either one. So you're gonna
Yeah.
go talk to graffitis and then decide from there. Excellent. I like it. I'm going to take some notes. Actors to the stations.
So wait, where are we sending the ushers to?
You're waiting to go talk to
right,
graffitis.
we're waiting to call. Yeah, okay.
Okay. You spend some time drinking, finishing up the wine sack with Barnaby and
I don't drink.
Editha. You don't drink?
No.
Okay.
This is very out of character for you.
It's a fantasy
In,
game, so we gotta
in
play
many-
something.
many ways.
Drink in
Many
real
ways.
life and like, no,
Yeah,
my
yeah.
This
Yeah, I
is
know.
characters are all
mythological.
gonna be, dry. That's
His
great.
body's his temple. Yeah.
You have some of the food.
Nice.
Do you want to ask Barnaby or Agitha anything before you move?
I mean, it'd probably be good to ask him for some info about this guy that we're going to go see.
Do you know anything about this graffiti?
Agitha kind of shifts uncomfortably. Yes, he is one of the 3 priests who look over the Grand Temple. He is not liked very much because he goes on about the old ways all too often, and it makes people uncomfortable. But he's nice, smells a little funny, but is still a decent person.
All right.
And it is undeniable that he is in commune with the gods, and that is valuable, of course.
Well, we'll do our best.
And with-
Our Lena nose are pretty sensitive. Is he really smelly?
Just, she hands you like a little baggie of like dried, not, it's not potpourri, but it's like close, kind of along that lines. Like,
Yeah.
here, you can use this. I have more at my office. And
Thank you very much.
then she and Barnaby depart, and you set off across the city to head to the Grand Temple. The Grand Temple is all the way over here. So I'll move you guys over. As you walk through the city, let's see here. Brazino, give me a perception check.
Getting there. Sorry.
It's okay.
Moving slow.
And let's nope, I'm not gonna bane this. Not yet. I'm remembering that I need to bane you though.
All right. Good
I
for
mean, Eric
you.
loves Bane, so it should be instant.
So perception, you said, correct?
Yes. Heard something.
For the people online to see it, do we need to switch what we're looking at?
15.
Oh,
Twitch?
yes, indeed. I was looking at the wrong thing. 15. All right.
What does he know?
You notice that there is a group of thuggish-looking men following your group through the city. And they keep their distance, but they look like they're specifically there to follow you.
Like, how far away are they?
They're about 50 yards, trying to like not blend in, but like stay far enough back. There's so many people in the streets, it's kind of hard to like walk along sometimes. So they're kind of staying back far enough that they can kind of just blend in with the other people that are there. But they're definitely following you.
Okay. I'd let everybody know. It appears we have followers from thugs back yonder.
Perhaps they do not know who we are and the deeds we have done.
or perhaps they know exactly who we are.
Do you think they want our autographs?
You don't see any scrolls in their hands.
Yeah.
They don't look the literate type either.
I pull out a claw and I go, I only have lion scratches for autographs.
Maybe they saw you in the Acroan Games. You don't know. But they
I
are.
suppose I should blend in.
Oh, nice.
I look over my
I
shoulder.
don't-
Do they just look like the rest of the townspeople? Are they maybe clothed a little too? Do they look clothed like prepared for something other than just walking around the street?
Yeah. Not all of them, but one or two of them have leather armor. It's real paltry stuff. It's not like a full like panoply or anything. But you particularly notice this when you look back. Wrapped around their right arm is the thong of a sling, so they look like they are armed.
Mm.
And if so, Nico is kind of like he's trying to kind of scan the area to find out if there's like some sort of tactical advantage for us, like either like some high ground or maybe to get them kind of closer to the water, so maybe we can get their backs
away
to the
from
water.
people.
Is there anything I noticed that we could use to our advantage before, just in case, like
Yeah,
as
how
we're heading
far
towards
is
the
it?
temple?
50 yards.
50 yards. Okay.
So we're 50 yards from the temple, or they're 50 yards behind us?
They're 50 yards behind you, and basically you're in like the dock areas by now. Between you and the temple is kind of an open courtyard with a statue. Once you get into the open courtyard, there's really nothing. The statue would be like a decent place to like have some cover, but if you, it depends on how you want to approach the encounter. You can.
And could we lure them to the steps of the temple, or is it kind of forbidden to fight at temples?
It would be
Like
very
where we can
bad
get a
to
little bit
fight
high
at
ground?
the temple, but it doesn't mean it doesn't happen.
Okay.
You also
So
notice
how far ahead of us-
you at the temple,
Yeah.
there are guards. It looks like the town guard is there, and if you get all the way there, there's a chance that these men will disappear and just let you go.
So I think if you guys don't mind, why don't we pick up our step a little bit and hustle up there? There's no good place for us.
How
to
many
cover
did we
right
see?
here.
You saw that there was 7 of them.
'Cause we don't. They look like scrubs. We need to not waste our time with them.
Yes, we have better things to do.
Get moving.
So
So if you guys don't mind, we'll kind of like double our pace a little bit.
Yep.
Well,
And see if they follow us at double pace. That's a data point.
Yeah, I guess I'll kind of
Linger in the back.
Linger.
Yeah.
I
Barbara.
too. I kind of want to turn around and
There we go.
Yeah.
And then,
I'm a little hesitant to walk away from this.
and I'll be like,
yeah.
You tell
I'll be
them
like,
to be wary if
"Here,
you
come
walk
with
into
me,
a den of lions.
I kind of
we'll chat up those statue guards.
I kind of when I finally like, maybe I was near the front, so now I'm kind of like half stepping, so I end up next to Brazino, and I go, I'm right there with you. I want to turn around too.
And then Nico kind of is like, let me know how those weapons go, boys. And then he's kind of scooching.
No,
He grabs Fakira and kind of his heads towards the statue guards.
So
Just
where
link my arm through yours.
are you going to stop and linger at the steps, or are you going to linger in the courtyard?
Well, I think the two of us are going to kind of head to the guards, which I guess is beyond.
Yeah, and it's a large courtyard, so if
and get their attention with we have a satyr. Is that how you say it? Satyr?
if Fonazi and Brazino linger at the edge of the courtyard, you can kind of see. Do you stop and like turn around?
Yes. And are we like how many feet away are we?
Hold on one second, Matt. Because you're farther back. You actually are kind of out of this encounter by being at the temple steps.
I thought you were talking to me. Sorry.
I'm not. So Brazino and Fonazi, do you stop there and turn around, or do you just kind of?
So we're at the threshold between the temple and the courtyard, correct? Like it's like a little, like a open gate sort of thing.
So it is a large courtyard, and I'm just asking where you stop, because if you enter the courtyard, they might do something differently. So I'm asking, are you walking into that courtyard and stopping, or are you walking all the way to the temple steps?
I'm wondering, like, because that would depend on if there's like walls between, like
It's
if there are
stone.
walls that, like, yeah, like is the courtyard walled off?
It is not walled off. It is
Okay.
stone tiered and open.
Okay, I think I would keep going, but maybe I would like just arm myself with the trident and have like my hand grasping the net over my shoulder, but I would keep walking and just be ready. But I would keep heading to the stairs to meet with the rest of them.
Okay. So as you begin to walk into the courtyard, you guys notice that they actually peel off, and kind of don't leave the safety of the group of people in the docks. They don't necessarily seem to want an open fight. They seem to want to try and ambush you more than anything else. And as soon as you get into the open and closer to the temple, they just let you go.
Let us go. Think we let them go.
Cowards.
You could probably turn around and say something to one of them right now if you wanted to, and just like keep walking. Do you want to do that?
Yes, I do. I turn around. Cowards.
You see like the closest one to you, like his eyes just kind of go open and he tenses like a little bit, and you're probably right. He is a coward. And he stops, and they kind of just... We've been seen. Like, that's kind of how you think they're responding. And they kind of fade away. And you walk into the temple. As you approach the temple, you see that there is a contingent of town guards there. They appear to be keeping the temple safe from the citizenry that would potentially want to burn the place, because that's how crazy things are these days. So you walk up to them, and they seem to have had orders to let you in. They recognize the four Leonin?
The mask I carved is quite convincing, no?
You hear a couple of them.
It's the smile.
By the gods, what the hell is that thing? 4 Leonin in one place. What is Alekos coming to?
I know. What are the odds?
Lucky are you.
We are not lucky. We are on guard. And please, enter. We're not paid to talk.
We are looking for graffitis.
Oh. Well, lucky you. He's probably drunk and hanging out, like sleeping in one of the shrines. If you go inside, I'm sure if you sniff hard enough, you'll smell him.
A drunk priest? Sounds like fun.
Nico takes a little sniff off his potpourri clothes.
Excellent. You enter the Grand Temple, and as you enter, you're kind of taken back how like empty it is. The temple is literally just a square room that goes up into kind of like a beveled walls that kind of like come in with windows in them so light can come down. And in each one of the alcoves, there are 13 alcoves, and each one has a shrine depicting one of the gods in their various poses. And usually they have offerings and all sorts of things around them, but it's kind of empty. You see in like the middle, there's a priest in like green robes kind of sweeping up something. And other than that, you don't really see anything in there. This is also an opportunity to ask the gods some information if you wanted to, because you would know that, especially Brazino, would know that contacting a god, you don't just contact a god. You have to be in the right element to contact a god. To contact Thassa, you would have to be in one of her temples, or on the sea, or on the shore. To contact Nylea, at a temple, or a shrine, or in the forest, or in the act of the hunt. Similarly with all of the gods. So, thank you so much for the subscription. Thanks, Lady LeFay. 4 months. Oh man, time
Be the
flies
best.
so quick. Okay, so you see the open temple.
Well,
Yes. You were saying, Nico?
So I guess, yeah, Nico is kind of looking for Perforos's little one of the 13 alcoves.
You find it.
And
it's the shiniest by a
Okay.
long shot.
Like shiny, because it's been cleaned, or because it's like bronze, like shiny bronze?
Yes,
or...
there's like intricate bronze, like dangles hanging of smithed baubles, and it's beautiful because it is built to reflect light, and shines quite nicely. Interestingly enough, directly across from it, like the room, is Heliod's shrine. And Heliod's shrine is not shiny. In fact, it looks like it's probably the least kept of any of the shrines in the temple.
Do I see Brazino heading over?
Oh yeah,
to
you do.
Heliod's?
You're heading
Okay,
over to
so-
the shrine of Heliod?
Yeah.
Okay.
And like when you say like it looks unkempt, like is there stuff kind of torn up in there? Like what?
It's
like, what are we
not
seeing?
purposefully like ransacked or broken, but it's obvious that it hasn't been dusted as often as the other ones, and it also hasn't been like offered to. Of all the other shrines, you can kind of see like old offerings sitting there, and there really isn't anything to Heliod.
So when I get over to it, I'm gonna start dusting it off. And what would be like, so like a good offering? I mean, I would know this, but to make.
You are immediately struck by this is the worst possible place to put a altar or a shrine to Heliod.
Right.
Heliod's shrine should be outside.
Yeah, it should be in the sun.
It
And
should
normally you guys would know too, like around noontime is when I kind of give my little hurrah to Heliod.
The other thing that you notice too is that laying kind of beside the shrine, on like a little mat, is a stinky, possibly drunk priest.
Why? It must be Crofides.
Yes, right there.
Right in
You
front
kick,
of it.
you kick him. He sits up and burps and coughs, and then looks up at you. Well, I figured that Heliod would come to kill me one day, but I didn't think he'd come disguised as a Leonin. Well, make it quick.
I just gotta nudge him out of my way.
I kind of veered off from everyone too when they kind of split off to go to, but I heard the burp and whatever, and I kind of turned around and so I kind of like walk up behind Brazino to make the trio. But when I was looking back, kind of like wandering my eyes, was there anything to Clothis anywhere or no?
No, there is no shrine to Clothis.
I had a feeling there wouldn't be.
Yeah.
Okay, so I join them, and I look over at him, and I kind of give a little bit of a harumph and a grin.
As you push him over, he kind of gets his senses and like stands up and brushes himself off. For Leonin. It can't be? Oh, Krufix, why do you do this to me? You must be here. You have answered the call of adventure. I've seen it. I know. It must be. You have come to retrieve the Guardian, right?
Are you talking about the lost artifact of Archons?
Yes. Yeah, I knew you would come. I foresaw it. It was like a message straight into my spine. Terribly painful, but true. So, you will retrieve it, yes? If you do, it could save Alekos.
How?
What is it?
It is a powerful warding device capable of turning back even a blow from the Sun Spear itself.
Wow. That sounds like something you'd be interested in, wouldn't it, Bronzino?
What do you know of it, and where would it be?
Before Alekos was built up by Olantin, it was once the seat of the northern Akron Agamnos, the brother of Agnamakos. He used this powerful magic to protect himself and his brothers from the wrath that the gods eventually let loose, and they forged an empire. Beneath the ruins of the old Olantan Keep, buried deep underneath there, is this warding device. The Guardian. If you can bring it back to the temple, we could use it to protect Alekos. Ward against any force that would try to destroy it. You must get it, please.
And,
This point, Fakira pops around. She says, "Isn't that underwater?"
Olantin is underwater, but the ruins of the old Olantin Keep are right in the middle of Alekos.
Oh.
Yes, you guys know that right over here is the ruins of the old Olantin Keep.
Where the returned was.
That's pretty convenient.
Yes, where Bad Mama had her keep as well.
Yeah.
Or her lair as well.
So I'm kind of just quietly listening to this guy and observing him, and I want to see if he's
Blesses! Thank you so much, Lady LeFay.
if he's very does he seem mad in any way?
Oh yes, he seems off of it for
Okay.
certain.
My friends, do you believe this man and his wild tales? He seems a bit not sound of mind, if you know what I'm saying.
Most priests are a little off anyway. Wine or no wine.
So graffitis. What does this artifact look like exactly? Can we carry it? One person?
Yes, it is a disc, about yay big. One could wear it.
Zena
eyes
just
just
lit
like-
up.
Yes.
It is
Oh, it's not a discus. A disc.
It's a disc, about yay big. One could wear it around their neck, or insert it on an altar. You could carry it out.
Why do we have to bring it back all the way back here? Why can't we just use it ourselves?
Well, you could use it to protect yourself, I do believe. Or you could use it to protect all of Alekos.
What is does the temple do something special that protects the whole city?
Well, it is
I'm
the
very interested in
appropriate
this. If
place
this is
to
architectural
administer.
magic.
Yes, it is the perfect place to administer to all of Alekos. It serves all of the gods and all of the people.
Did you hear about it? Did they give you a picture in your head? Or what?
Oh yes. Straight into my spine.
Yes, I am sensing many
It is
pictures.
a very
in his mind.
sensitive spine. So while they're chatting, Nico kind of turns around and is gonna head like a few feet back over to Perforos's little area where it's super shiny, and he doesn't like kneel, but he kind of takes like a knee, and he's got that shield that's like gorgeous, but he built it kind of with Thassa's sigil on it, but like it's the shield that Perforos kind of was impressed by, and so he kind of sets the shield kind of facing back out at him as if like to kind of, it's like his kind of to show his resume kind of thing, to the say, this is me, this is the guy that you noticed my shield. And he's in his mind, I guess he's gonna kind of ask and see like, is this man crazy, or is this artifact something that I can learn about as an artificer, and perhaps build something similar to it for you, Perforos?
Oh goodness! Give me a religion check, and so tell me how exactly you're using the shield again. Are you setting it on the altar?
So the shield. So I kind of, well, I'm assuming you said there's like all these shiny, beautiful things all around, but is there like a flat altar like you would see at a?
Yes, there is like a bronze pan that like is shining. And it seems to have like a liquid in it that is hot.
Oh yeah, so he's not going to put the shield like into the liquid. He's kind of placing it down.
It would be destroyed if you did so.
Yeah. So, but I think like he is going to like reach in, because this sounds terrible, but he has a great cookie recipe, and so he is going to drop like, his cookies are kind of his trademark, and he's going to drop an offering in there, because you have to sacrifice something delicious, and
Excellent.
I guess he's going to make a religion check.
Go ahead and make the roll.
All right, here we go. It's not terrible.
Thank you for the
blesses. And I guess I have blesses, so let's put a bless on this too.
Okay, excellent.
Oh, there we go. And then a D4. There we go. So 18 total.
18 total. So you have experienced visions of the gods before, especially from Perforos. It's almost like a watching a craftsman. You don't see a full-on vision like you have in the past, but you do hear a hammer hitting metal. Kind of one of those moments where you have to take of it what you will.
I love it. So he kind of takes out his like little tinker's mallet that he'd been using, and he just kind of gives like whatever the cadence that he hears kind of in his mind. He kind of taps the same cadence on the shield, kind of like to signal back like, I hear you. And then he puts the hammer away, and then kind of lifts up the shield, and he's like, my friends, let's go check out this underground our old keep and find that guardian.
Okay. So does everyone agree to this?
What about the blue guy?
Well, perhaps more will come to us the more we try to pursue other things nearby.
Maybe.
Not sure where he landed anyway.
Fakira, the blue guy is very interesting to me. As you know, for the whole night, I've been drawing pictures of what you described poorly, might I say. None of them seem to be similar to what you guys saw. But he may be a little beyond what we're capable of right now.
Yeah.
Thanks for the follow,
to me,
Keith.
This sounds like
Good to
something
see you here.
Woohoo! This sounds like something that might be able to protect all the people. And goodness knows, we need to bring joy here.
True. Yeah, we could do that.
You could always wait a day and do Agent of Horizons yourself. Because that was an initial plan as well. Or even send the stagehands to do it on the second day. Because for some reason they get advantage on it. I don't know why that would be.
Yes, I believe we take the quest of true heroes.
I mean, this has all the makings. We got my two lean-in brother here. I've got their new blessed weapons. Perforos has smiled upon them. And now we have a perfect place to test them out. Who knows? Maybe we'll be able to warm up a little bit on those thugs on the way. Seems like we're gonna walk right past them.
Okay,
I
so I'm
agree.
confused as to where you're going. Are you guys going to do
Oh.
Agent of Horizons, or are you going to do Sinister Secrets of Alekos?
I thought you guys were saying Horizons was tomorrow. We would do it.
Well, we could
tomorrow.
also send.
or send
Yeah, we
those
could
guys
send someone with advantage, and
Yeah,
then I
we
say
could
we do
send the
Sinister
stagehands
Secrets
tomorrow.
because advantage is huge.
well, because in Sinister Secrets possibly will lead us to the other quest.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I would do that.
Yeah.
Personally.
Agreed.
All right, so here's what I understand. You are going to go do Sinister Secrets of Alekos, hold off on Agents of Horizon, and then what are you going to do with the Ushers?
Huh?
You still have the Ushers to do something
Yeah.
with, so they could do...
But
Um,
everybody had disadvantage with the snake god, so maybe we should just go for it because they had disadvantage with everything basically that's left, right, Andy?
The stagehands also had advantage, but would have needed to take 2
Yeah.
days in order to do it. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
disadvantage or disadvantage. So you're just going to send them to do it.
Yeah.
Hey, who knows?
Yeah, I think so.
They could pull
They could
it
get
out.
lucky.
They
Yeah.
could pull it out. Absolutely.
Yeah.
This
The
this
dice
is a
could
game.
smile
They
upon
need
us.
a win, man.
You gotta roll the dice. It's gonna. I can see how it's gonna be. The Ushers are just gonna get their asses kicked for like 3 days in a row.
We'll give them.
And you guys are ushers, right? Brazino and Fonase?
I'm
Kind of
Yeah.
ish.
I'm with the ushers, but I usually
Yeah.
I'm
They're
usually with
they're
the stage
soft with
crew.
that, you guys.
I'm usually with the stage crew putting up equipment.
Oh, nice.
I'm really glad you're here, Keith. We've talked about D&D for so long, so I'm glad you kind of get to see me in action. You know. So.
When we came in, Fakira went to Karametra's
Oh, excellent.
one, and she took one of the seeds out of her pouch from home, and I assume Karametra maybe has a little bit of soil in front of her.
Absolutely. You actually see like this segment. It's not a table. It's a segmented, almost like a planter box with these like little sections in them. And some actually have things growing out of them. There's also like offerings of food. And as you're standing over there, like tending to your seed, Graffitis comes over and like finds a sack and begins like going through it and finds a little bit of wine and starts like drinking right in front of you.
I wrap him on the fingers as soon as he starts doing that.
It'll just go to waste. Karametra doesn't want us to waste food. She wants us to use it. The plants are a better offering.
Are there any like plants or anything that aren't like associated with any specific god, like in sort of pottery or anything inside of here, or is that mainly in the courtyard?
Mainly in the courtyard. Everything it
Okay.
seems really sparse except
Yeah.
for the altars. Like the altars are very specific, and as you get away from the altars, there's really just plain nothing. Brazino, you have been cleaning up the altar to Heliod.
Yeah, I did. I cleaned it a little bit. And then when I catch because I know we have work to do as well. So I want to turn to the priest and tell him, I recommend you clean Heliod and place him outside. In the sun.
Why? So he can kill us?
Well,
No one wants
perhaps you are afraid of him because you disrespect him.
I very much respect
If I
his
were
power.
a god and I came here and found my statue in a closet covered with dirt, I would be upset as well.
Okay, good point. Good point. I mean, he did destroy our empire for, you know.
I mean,
But-
Brazino, I'm pretty sure this thing we're gonna get is gonna protect us from the Sun Spear. Isn't that Heliod's weapon choice?
Yeah. Well,
We're gonna find ourselves in an interesting situation, aren't we? But I say if we get going now, you'll have a chance to test those claws out on some thugs.
I cannot wait.
A thought crosses your mind, Brazino. On the altar, there is a mirror that is laid flat. You kind of
I
feel like
can
the
angle it
mirror.
in such a way.
You kind of feel like the mirror doesn't
Wait.
belong here.
Oh.
Okay. Well, I kind of investigate the mirror.
It's old and covered in dust. It definitely is some raiment to Heliod, but you can just tell it is screaming to be someplace else.
I kind of look around. I'm kind of thinking perhaps there's a way that the mirror reflects sunlight coming in from a different way over onto the statue.
So Brazino,
Yes.
I don't know if you know this, but I'm speaking of Porphyros last night. And I have a new special skill that can identify perhaps a magical item. Would you be interested in finding out what this mirror does for you?
Perhaps. Give me one moment. Do I see any incoming light sources?
Give me a perception check. And you can do this with advantage because the sun is shining particularly through certain portions of the temple. Right. So they're shining on particular spots and your eye is drawn exactly there.
Yeah. And meta, I can do this as a ritual.
Oh, the identify? Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
You look it over for Brazino, and it doesn't look like it's magical.
Oh, okay.
So, to do advantage, I hold
Shift.
Yes.
Exactly. Waste not, want not. Kara Metro. She'd want you to drink it.
Ooh.
Yikes.
You look around, and the thing that catches your eye is all of the light that is being shown on Porphyros' shrine. And you think, what a travesty that is.
Yeah,
how dare they shine all this light on Porphyros and stick Heliod into a dark corner.
Brazino, I do feel like these people are a little sensitive about your god Heliod. Perhaps this is something we do when we come back with the disc. Just in case we unleash all sunshine and fire hell here.
Okay, I hand the priest the mirror. I say, "Get him more light," and I point over at the Heliod statue.
Okay, whatever you say. Just get the guardian, please. And then he kind of mucks around. He does actually start to go like clean and like prepare Heliod's shrine a little bit more, but you could tell he's doing it like grudgingly. Would anyone else like to do anything before you leave the Grand Temple?
Yes. So while the sort of fussing with him and investigating this mirror, I'm kind of a bit antsy looking around. I'll be outside when we're ready to all leave. And I go into the courtyard and does the dirt and plants from the courtyard hike up right up to the steps of the temple, like on the siding, or is there like kind of a stone barrier around?
They have deposited agate and stone around to make sure that like plants don't just grow up around the temple.
Right.
But you can find spots where there's like potted plants or other things that were like planted on purpose to look nice.
Right.
So you can find some dirt if you wanted to.
Yeah, I want to get to as close as I can to the temple, like more notably, like near as near to the steps as I can. And kind of look around, go a little bit more to the side, and like claw into the soil and dig like kind of a shallow hole, and pull out what's left of the Nixian like mane that I have like left from the, I still have the braid, but whatever was left over that I didn't need, and I grab my, I use my claw and go into like the wound that is sealed up and just like puncture it a bit and draw some blood and smear it on the fur and put it into the hole and then cover it up. And I go, I wouldn't stand the disgrace of not having your presence in a holy place amongst other brethren. Please appear to me, for our destiny is seeming uncertain today.
Give me a religion check with advantage.
Religion.
That was awesome.
with
Yeah.
advantage. Okay. With advantage. Ooh, 12. Or else it would be a 1. So.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Well, at least it's not a 1. That's fantastic.
I would have had a -1 if I didn't get at least a 2. So that's actually a 2.
You feel the wind change directions. And that seems enough for you to, like, have some kind of, like, hand on the shoulder moment. But a revealing, it is not. Periergos.
Sorry, do I know what direction the wind was blowing or anything
The
like
wind
that?
was blowing onshore, and it changed to offshore breeze. Periergos, would you like to do anything with the gods before?
No, I wouldn't. My friends, are you done
One moment.
Yeah.
with your gifts? I fear the day grows short.
Yeah. While Nico kind of sees what Fonase is doing, he chats up the town guard just real quick to ask if they know anything about those thugs. Like, is there any info they can give them? Like, would they be happy to be rid of them?
We'd be happy to be rid of all of these refugees. There used to be a militia that patrolled outside the area around Lagos, and when their commander went south to head to Miletus, they turned into a ragged bunch, and we've had our tussles with them, but mostly they stay out of our way. But for servants of the Archon, you can think that maybe they would be looking out for you.
Do you think they could be convinced to be helpful, or
He just insulted you, by the way. You might have missed it, but he insulted you.
I did, and I think he probably, like, he's kind of more of a brainiac than, like, socially aware. So
so
I think he'd miss it anyways. Yeah.
Excellent.
He's like, all right, and he kind of just walks off and kind of heads towards where Fonase is.
Okay. You finally all link up, and you are heading towards the ruins of the Cacao Estate. Your directions from Agitha told you that they were northeast from Alekos. Not a long jaunt, maybe an hour or two. So there isn't much time between you leaving the northeast gate and seeing the ridge on the ocean side where the ruins come into view. But for the sake of traveling through dangerous wilderness, I still need one of you to give me our favorite check. A survival check.
With a bless, then.
With a bless if you like.
I'll do it with a bless. I
There
got
you
a
go,
couple.
Kira. You just planted a seed.
Yeah, exactly. That
That's
definitely
survival.
helps. Survival?
Yes, please.
All right.
Boom.
There we go.
Oh, nice.
D4.
Boom. 17. Lucky 17. There you go.
Lucky 17.
You're our ranger.
You are Ranger. Okay. So give me a percentile die. And the total was 17, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
72.
72. Okay. You your travel goes unmolested. And the sun actually shines down on you, and for a moment you kind of forget that you're in the middle of a very bad place. You look over your shoulder and you see the smoke still rising from the burned farms and the farmland around Alekos. And you hear a voice say, "Oh, my sweet Fakira, enjoy this moment, because many terrible ones are coming. But don't worry, I will be here right behind you. Just try to find a place that has better food.
Yeah, I'm working on it. Not much here.
It's not, it's fine. Just keep going. I'm
All right.
I'm right here.
You got it. Chat later.
And with that, I will move you over to the cacao estate.
Is it pronounced the same way as like the stuff that you make chocolate out of?
Kind of. It is K-A-K-O.
K-A-K-O, okay.
K-A-K-O. And let us move you here. As you come up the hill and come into the courtyard in front of this dilapidated estate, you see it is overgrown with plants and just debris in general. The building has begun to fall apart in many ways, and it's overall just kind of like you could tell that the place hasn't been used in several decades. You are immediately surprised to see that there is a working fountain still in the middle of the place, and a large horse skeleton lays next to it, beginning to have grass grow up around it. But the estate still looks like it was once very nice, from what you can see immediately. Broken bits and bobs are all over the place, but you are free to move around. Let's actually go ahead and roll initiative, and we will do like initiative order for exploration. Don't forget to click on your token before you hit the initiative.
Oh. Hey.
All right.
Ooh, Nat.
Nat 20.
Oh.
I need to get some fate cards in here so that we can start doing those kind of like natural 20 rewards. All right, we're still waiting on Brazino.
Hey,
You're muted
Andy,
again,
real
Eric.
quick.
Muted again, Eric.
Brazino.
It's my tribute to Ryan. I was trying to click on I rolled a 14. I was trying to click on it, my character, but my token, and it's not clicking.
Oh, interesting. I have that.
Yeah, I got my cursor on him, and I'm clicking, and
okay. It says that it's controlled by you. Nope. Anything yet?
No, I'm moving somebody else. I just moved, and I moved.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, you go.
There it goes. Okay.
It might just be
Got
going
it.
a little slow right now.
Yeah. Want me to re-roll, or
That would be
You wanna put it in?
fantastic, Melee. Yes, please go ahead and roll after you've selected your token.
okay?
All right, excellent. And we will do descending order here.
Well, that was worse. Okay.
So go ahead and basically you have free movement. You can move to any one of these buildings and look at something, and we'll resolve that one investigation or looking into, and then move on to Fanaze. So what would Nico like to go investigate?
So Nico is going to kind of watch the other guy. So he kind of wants to just step up a little bit here. So he kind of takes a step up just so he can kind of look around to the left here and just see if there's anything that's kind of waiting to jump out at us.
It doesn't look like it. It looks like the place has been vacant for quite some time.
And is that a coffin? I'm not sure what that gray thing is.
The gray thing is a cooking device of some kind. It looks like they
Nice.
they
Okay.
like set a fire or set coals in it and like put it down like a giant oven. It's quite advanced even for now. You haven't seen many people who have something like that, but you have seen it before.
Okay, so he's just kind of looking around for anything that's going to kind of jump out and attack at us. He's just got a firebolt kind of
Give me a perception
ready,
check.
but he's not going to use it. Okay.
Ooh.
There we go.
Nico, your discerning eye for building catches something a bit off. The eating area, or the cooking area, is completely smashed and disheveled. The main house is also falling apart. But this building over here is very well kept. Like, it's grown up around, but it's not falling apart. And that seems odd.
When you say over here, I'm not sure where the over here was.
Hold on one second. Got a
Okay,
visitation
I got you
from the little man.
Oh, right on.
Hi. It's time for
buddy.
night nights. Say hi to the Adventure Archive, buddy. You'll soon be
Hey,
a
Steph.
adventurer yourself, and Steph there in the background. She's camera shy.
This haircut's looking awesome.
Yeah, thank you. All right. Good night, buddy.
Okay.
No
Aw.
beat him face tonight. All right, there you go. Night night. So your question about the where? Okay.
I saw where it was. It was on the left side. I saw it.
On the left side, over
Gotcha.
there. I will drag you over to it. There are two buildings, one here and one here, and the one on the right is dilapidated and falling apart, and the one on the left is rather well put together, and still well put together.
My friends, check this out. This is quite interesting. If you notice over there, that building is in perfect shape. Everything else seems to be destroyed around here. And I guess he's just going to kind of take another step in, because he's kind of now like lost track. Now he's kind of interested in the building. So he's kind of like lost track of what he was doing, like being on the look to get attacked. And now he's like really interested in this building.
Fanaze. What is Fanaze drawn to?
Well, before he sees Nico going that way, he does look over to the right, because he sees, I mean, he's a bit more simple. He sees an open entranceway, and he sees, something that assumes that there might be stairs nearby.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, "It's open and there's stairs. How about we head on in?" What does it look like on the outside? I don't care, like, as my character, but I'm just curious.
It is a wooden structure that has stucco and stone in it, and you can kind of tell at one time the outside was like decorated and painted, but it's all faded away and fallen off. As you can see, there's bits of the wall that have actually fallen off. The upstairs, like, part of it is actually like fallen out, so you can kind of see into the upstairs from the western side of it.
So I begin going towards it, and I see Nico going the other way, and I look over at him, and I'm like, "Doors are closed over there. Let's go for the easy route first. Unless there's something more interesting there that I don't see."
Cool. You can actually go all the way up to the door and look inside if you want to.
This one? Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. Broken and fallen pillars abound. If there were things of worth in this room, they are gone. Usually, an estate like this would be decorated with tapestries and rugs. Either they have long ago disintegrated or were taken from this place. The one feature, or the two features, that seem to draw your eye are the large hole in the ground, or the stairs to your right.
I don't go any further. I don't think I could, but I don't try to press any further. And I look behind me. I go, well, there's a big hole going down, and there's stairs going up.
Up next, Fakira.
Fakira looks at her two friends. All right, well, this is weird. And she goes up to the fountain. And she just kind of like looks it over just to try and figure out what in the heck is going on. How in the world can it still be running, especially since with everything else?
Give me a perception check or an investigation.
Bless. Oh.
Gonna bless it?
Yeah.
Okay, you don't have to. You got a nat 20 on it. You get to keep the bless.
Saw the two and I was like, oh, okay.
Okay, keep that bless. Fakira, your eye is drawn to something in the water. A black liquid is bubbling up through the cracks, and you smell sulfur. It's coming. Yeah, it stinks, and there's something very off about it. You might be able to like reach in with like a container. The black stuff inside of it is so viscous that it kind of like floats inside of the water. If you had some kind of container, you actually might be able to reach in and scoop it out.
I will point it out. I don't think I have a container on me, but I'd be like, you guys, there's this weird black stuff. It's it looks like something that Nika would make, maybe. Kind of weird. Also, it stinks.
You mean it's cookies?
Nailed
Maybe
it.
sort of molassesy. I'm not sure.
Oh, an ingredient then.
And that's it.
Okay, Periergos.
So on that note, I'm gonna join Fakira, and while I'm up here, I want to kind of look around the fountain to see if there's any sign of, specifically this dead horse, and is there any sign of, footprints or tracks or anything else around here?
That would be a survival check. I mean,
Survival check.
I could give you investigation, but it's tracking tracks is specifically the domain of a ranger.
Yeah, basically she found this stuff, and I'm just thinking maybe someone's coming to this fountain to use it, and so just kind of looking around for any sign of that. So okay, I'll roll a survival, and I'm gonna bless it.
Okay.
Blesses. Oh well. 13.
So you look around and the horse around the horse skeleton, and you cannot find evidence of anyone walking around except for yourself, really.
Okay.
There is some like tracks that look like animal tracks occasionally, but it's not. It doesn't seem to be. It doesn't seem to be anything that like you're not seeing boots. You're not seeing evidence of people marching in and out of here.
Okay.
Excellent, Brazino.
All right. Well, I'm gonna head over to the building that my friend had pointed out that said does not look damaged.
Okay.
And is that the entrance off to the left?
You see that it is wildly overgrown down the side, but you can see the top of like a door frame, and it looks like you have to hack or wiggle your way through this nasty, overgrown bush.
Okay, and that's over in the left corner, right?
Yes. No,
Okay,
no.
so-
Not there. Not in the left
Oh,
corner.
over there?
The door is right there that you see.
Okay, my own token stuff's blocking it. So I'll pull out my sword then, which I want out anyways, to kind of hack through the bush a little bit to get to the door. And to clear a path, so if I need to bail, it's easier, or if friends follow, it's easier.
I'm just gonna move you out of the spot that you're in. I don't know if you can see in there, but
No, I cannot.
okay, excellent. Did you roll? I did not see it.
Roll for...
Just kind of a general, like, survival to, like, cut your way through.
Okay. I will roll survival.
Roll for lawn mowing.
Lawn mowing, yeah. You're basically just hacking your way through there.
Can I roll for topiary and make them look really nice?
If you want to make them look like, some kind of effigy to Heliod, sure, why not? Rolled for topiary.
I'm rolling terrible. Okay.
That didn't work.
It is a struggle to hack through this stuff. It's quite overgrown and dry and nasty, and you actually can't make your way over to the door. That's how like crappy it is going through here.
Edward Scissorhands. What while Nico sees him doing this, you said it looks really dry. Does it seem flammable?
Very much so.
Okay.
So does the building, though. Oh,
I was just gonna say, what's the building made of? Yeah.
we just lost. We just lost to one of our crew.
Oh no.
Yeah, Janelle dropped out. Oh, what a bummer.
Was she? Did you like kill her when we weren't looking?
Yes, she.
The
she
black
was
ooze came up.
dragged.
Black ooze came alive.
She like dipped her finger in and licked that black stuff
Yeah.
while we weren't looking. Her fey nature took over. And she gone.
Well, we can still continue on. I will do I'm not going to do really any adjusting. For now, Bronzino, Eric, you're kind of cut in half.
Yeah, I kind of see. I'm gonna.
He's only one
Where do I need to
Brazino.
go?
He's only Brazino.
There we go. Yeah.
Oh, okay, wait. I'll take this one. There we go.
And I'm in Fakiris.
That's awesome.
I need to remember to carve my Seder map.
Yeah, there you go.
That's right.
Hopefully.
She's our ranger, though. We're screwed.
Yeah. As soon as she rejoins us, we'll pop back in. This actually might be a perfect opportunity to take a little break. Why don't I take us to the Be Right Back screen, and we will see you momentarily.
Cool.
Maybe hit her up on text. Yes.
Hi, thank you for sticking around. We had a little bit of technical difficulties, but here we are again. The crew is exploring the cacao ruins outside of Alekos after reports of returned, the undead of Theros, being spotted at the ruins. And so far they have found a dilapidated building, and that's about it so far. We're still in the middle of Brazino's turn. You had failed to work your way into get through these bushes. And did you want to do anything else?
I guess there's not much else I can do. How far away from the door am I? Oh,
You're
okay.
like 5 feet. If you could just get 5 more feet, you could make it in there. But you've spent so much effort at this point to try and get through these bushes. You're right there.
Okay. Well, that's my turn then.
Yeah. It's going to move on to Nico again. What is Nico doing?
So Nico he sees his buddy just kind of cutting like without much purpose through the bushes there, and he kind of shouts out to him, Brazino, is it weird to you that this house is like perfectly kept? That stinky old man said something about the lost artifact being a warding device from Heliod himself. Does this ring any bells to you? Like, perhaps the device is inside this house.
Perhaps these bushes seem unnatural and I cannot get through them. They are stupid bushes.
Nylea curses you with her bushes.
Right?
I mean, I would burn them out, but I'm afraid to bring this house down with it.
Yeah, is the house made of wood or?
It's made of wood and plaster, and it would especially the one on the right would.
Fighter's bad idea, my friend. No fun.
I hear you. We don't want to test it. What do you think then? Should we go head over, find out what Faunazé is doing? Rawr.
Well, I'm not heading anywhere because I'm stuck in these bushes.
So he kind of says that, and then he's just kind of.
It took me a while to get in. I assume it would take me a while to get out, so I'm kind of just like.
He's gonna use the rest of his movement to kind of, I guess, he'll be here, but he's heading towards Faunazé. He's not really even looking at that black stuff.
Okay. You can go inside. You can just walk right past him. Since this isn't like technically a combat round. You can just, like, walk in.
Gotcha. Faunazé, what do you see?
I see stairs going up, and there seems to be a hole going into. Well, we'll have to check it out.
Oh, all right. And so when Nico looks around this room, like it looks totally destroyed, like that eating area.
Yes, it's been picked clean. Like anything that was useful in here is gone. Most of the wood is like from beams falling down from the roof.
Yeah.
There's
so that's
pottery and other things, but.
So his kind of like he's a carpenter, right? So like, or that's one of his like backgrounds. That's one of his like skill sets. So he's kind of scanning around and like, should we be here? Like, is the fall gonna like? Are we gonna end up in this dungeon because the floor is gonna fall through, kind of thing? And like, can we walk towards that hole?
It is certainly a worry to have. Whether or not the floor is going to hold up is a
we're pretty big.
You can't answer without probably getting some information about how the floor feels when you get closer. The upstairs looks like in similar condition where if you went upstairs you might be worried about falling through.
So Faunazé, do you have any rope on you?
I believe I do.
Could you make me? I know I've seen you tie on tomorrow's Twilight. You're pretty good at tying those sailor's knots. Could you tie a knot around me? Because I'm gonna walk towards that hole. But if I disappear, I'd rightly appreciate it if you pull me back out.
Right.
Thank you for the prayers, Rogue Singer. You have a good night.
Good night.
Night, Rogue Singer.
And so,
I do that. I grab the rope that I have and I rope.
It's like 50, it's like 50 feet, right?
Yeah, it's 50
5, 10, 15, 20. So he's kind of halfway. How's the floor feeling?
It's you can hear creaking as
Yes.
you like go along or shifting. It's there's like a multi structure. The
So he's gonna
the
where he's
foundation is stone here, so it doesn't necessarily creak as so much as like shift occasionally.
Could I'm gonna ask you, Nico. I'll go. I'm gonna move outside and brace on the doorway.
I think that's a great idea. And I'm not sure how much further I'm going to go in, to be honest. And
So I'm gonna be right here and like plant my feet up against the wall and the ground, like just leaning against it, just in case, and slowly, like, you know.
So he's kind of dead center, so he just casts mending all around his feet, like on the floor, just to like give it just like a little ounce of extra
That
like
takes
structure.
10 minutes, by the way, or
Oh,
a
mending?
minute. It takes a minute to cast.
Okay,
mending,
and that'll
so-
be the end of my turn. It's just
Okay.
kind of the solidify where I'm at. I'm on the rope.
Excellent. Very
Fanaze's
smart.
got some, yeah.
All right. In that case, it is Fanazi's turn. You're bracing onto this. We can, if you just want to hold it, or
Yeah, I'm digging my heels in, and you know, just I can't see much. He's like out of my field of view, it seems, right now. So I'm just kind of there straining. I'm looking over at the two at the fountain. What are they doing at the fountain again? I feel like my character wouldn't have known either. So.
They're looking at the strange black fluid coming up into the water.
Okay. I just kind of look over and I go, what are you two doing over there? And I'm just kind of like trying to, you know, just straining slightly and being like, what are they dilly-dallying about? You know, that's it.
Okay, Fakira, Fanazi just said, hurry the fuck up.
I'm gonna get my cup that's on my hip at all times.
Uh-huh.
It's not like it doesn't have a stopper or anything,
Okay.
but I'm gonna get my cup and I'm gonna try and get the black stuff.
It takes a little while because you know how water and like viscous things move, but you scoop up a little bit of it, and now you've got this black bit in water in your cup.
I try to pour off as much water, and then I just like walk over to Fanaze, and I look down at him. Interesting.
You look
And I just wait.
down at him. He's like 6'8".
Well, I thought he was like bracing, like sitting on the ground. And,
Oh,
like,
I'm not sitting. I'm like kind of leaning again. Like I got my heels dug into between like the walls of the building, and like I'm leaning back, like almost like I'm rappelling up a cliff, but I'm like leaning like this. So just slowly feeding the rope. So I am still like, I'm on an angle. I'm still a bit tall. I'm still quite tall. Yeah.
Okay. I wonder how people get into the other building. The door's locked. Not easy to get to.
At this point, Fakira, you notice something, and Fanazi, you notice it too. The stink coming from the cup. Now that the black liquid is free of the water and the air is hitting it, it smells like a dead carcass.
Oh, good.
Like reeks like carrion, weeks and maybe longer in the sun.
I'm gonna.
Get that thing away from me.
Is it a scent that Fakira would think is associated with the return?
Give me an insight check.
She ain't got no clue. She's I
didn't see it.
She just
I didn't see it roll on the page. Oh, here we go. Oh, okay.
She just sets the cup down and kind of like scoots it away.
This cup is ruined now.
I'm never gonna use that one again.
Great. Excellent. How about Perry Ergos? What are you up to, Perry?
So I'm gonna stroll over through the bushes over here and pluck a flower, take a whiff of it. Brazino, you look to be a little entangled over here. Perhaps you could use a bit more of a careful hand. And I, for one, prefer buildings that aren't falling apart with unknown horrors inside.
Well, there may be unknown horrors in here as well, but it is not going to collapse.
Yes, but my thoughts exactly. Ah, my brother.
I will take your hands.
Rawr.
All right, so I'm gonna make my way over to the door here.
It's hard to get through.
It's hard to get through?
And you're
Okay.
gonna have to make a survival check, basically, to
All right,
pull yourself through. Otherwise, the branches and brambles will snag you up.
Okay, I will roll a survival, and I may bless this. Oh God.
Oh God.
I'll bless it. What the hell? Maybe it's a 10.
Okay.
No, second one.
Harry.
Okay. So
It's
It
survival.
appears I am
It's our
not
bane.
myself, Brazino.
you only make it to behind Brazino, like right
Okay.
there. You can see the door, but you can't get to it as you get like caught up in the brambles.
Okay.
I told you it's very difficult bushes.
You are right, my friend.
You can see the door well enough to examine it potentially, so
I would love to examine it from here. Just investigation, or
yes. Oh, I can just describe the door, and then if you want more information,
yeah,
we can go from there.
I'm gonna take a look.
So as you look at the door, it is remarkably in really good condition, like especially compared to what's behind you. The fact that this building is like this and it looks like it was similarly constructed, but looks like it's not new, but like much newer. You would think that they were built at separate times, but you kind of know they were built at the same time. Makes you think maybe there's something magic about it. The door itself actually has very strange lines carved in it, all horizontal, up and down at different lengths, kind of looking like what we today would view as a barcode, but a little more artistic than that.
Interesting.
Harry, Meta, you saw Nico do a ritual of identify back at the temple that did not work. But he's tied to a rope right now.
Okay. And this symbol doesn't strike anything. Nothing that I've seen before or reminiscent of anything. No.
No, you've never seen anything like it.
Okay.
Did you study magic anywhere?
No.
Then no.
Nothing outside of my bardic magic.
Okay.
Okay, that's it then, I guess, for my turn.
All right. Brazino, up behind you has moved Periergos, and he's kind of helping you push them back. Did you want to get close to the door?
Yep.
Okay. With his help, you easily move into position. So you're now in front of the door. The door in front of you looks to be very solid wood, with this weird marking on it, and no handle.
No handle.
No handle. No latch, no bar.
This is a very strange door. I push it.
It seems pretty solid. Do you want to like push it hard or try and kick it in?
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me a strength check.
Okay, you want strength or athletics?
I would say it's strength specifically, like
Okay.
how much force you can exert on something.
This thing. Every time I switch over here.
Nice.
There we go.
Oh, a 19?
Yes.
You put... tell me how you hit this door.
So I got it because had my sword out to kind of cut through, and I was holding my shield to kind of, keep the bramble off my shoulder as I'm slicing through. So I think I just kind of take my shield and just shoulder right into it. Shield, shoulder, door.
You slam into the door, and it actually busts the hinge side to where it would like open. The door doesn't open all the way, but you've cracked it enough that you can like see inside, and you can tell with a little bit of work, you can get it open. It's going to take you the rest of your turn, though, to get it open.
Okay, so I'm going to start doing that, but since it's cracked a little bit, can I see anything inside?
Absolutely. Go ahead and just step inside of the door and look. So move one more space in, and it will show you what the inside looks like.
I'm not seeing anything.
It doesn't.
There it goes.
Okay.
There it goes. Took a second.
All right. Great. Let me see if I can actually like click on you to view what you're viewing, because I can't see what you see. Why don't you describe what you see for everyone?
Okay. Let me scroll over so I have the turn orders blocking my view a little bit. Big square room. Looks like multiple desks or dressers around the outskirts. There's a circular, maybe a temple or a fountain in the center, or maybe not quite center, but
runes on the floor.
Oh, those are runes on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now those desks...
Oh no, I'm sorry. That is actually not. It's not a fountain. It is like a. What is that called? A dais? It's like you could go stand on it, and in the center of it are runes on like a little platform that you could walk up onto.
Okay. And is that rubble in the southwest corner or southeast corner there?
It looks like dusty, fallen apartness, but mostly the room just looks disheveled. Not necessarily like it's falling apart like the other building is, but it's just unkept. It hasn't. Things have kind of fallen apart in here, but not to the point that the structure has fallen apart.
Okay, so I would kind of describe that to Periagos is the only one near me. So as I'm trying to get through the rest of the door and get it open so people can come through.
Why don't Periagos? Why don't you step inside? Because maybe I can see what you're seeing as well.
Okay.
There we go. Okay. So basically a magical office. You guys will start your turn next inside of there. To the top of the order, it is Nico. You have cast mending on the floor.
Yeah, and so I guess my question to you, Andy, is the sense I get there's from an intelligence standpoint, I guess, does it make any sense to keep going for him? Yeah. Like, is he getting the vibe that this is going to pay off?
At this point, you have mended the floor enough. You feel confident you could walk right up to that hole and not fall in.
Okay, so he kind of tells Bonaze, like, Bonaze, I'm going to take a couple steps up here and look down this hole. Wish me luck. And just heads on over there, but kind of gingerly, because he doesn't want to waste another feather fall spell. And I guess he gets right up to the edge.
I'm keeping the slack pretty taut as well, so he shouldn't he shouldn't fall anyway.
You look down into this opening, and you see cave below you. Faint light emanates from inside of the cave, and you can see crystal, maybe?
Okay.
As you kind of look around from there, it's hard to see beyond this section of the cave, but it looks like it's been worked. Like it's been purposefully...
Like mined.
Yes, like it's been purposefully worked to be inhabitable, have people inside of it. But the soft glow is coming from these crystals that are
They're from the crystals, and they're emanating up from it.
Mhm.
Okay. So he collects that info. He doesn't scream it out. He kind of just heads back to the door and pulls the rope, and then he's at the doorway. He kind of unties the rope, passes on to Fanase what he saw, exactly what you described, the faint light, the crystals. It appears to be worked. And then kind of asks him, like, are the other two people right near us right now?
Fakira's right behind us, I believe.
Fakira's, so I guess I say it to both of you guys. So I guess I'll pass in between both of you guys. And then I kind of ask them, like, where's the others?
They disappeared around the corner.
Well, I will say this: like, this room is dangerous as hell, and it's not going anywhere. I've described it to you. Why don't we go ahead and find them and see what they're in trouble they're into?
I suppose so.
And then he's just gonna, he kind of like how he did in the first episode. I guess, like, you can't really walk through that brush, right? So
Yeah.
he kind of goes he takes the fast path, I guess. Until
Fanase and Fakira, basically this would take up your entire turn to get over there. If you want to just go with him, you can go with them, and the path has been cleared into this room, and you can both make your way in so that everybody is in this room at the start of the next turn, including you, Nico.
Okay.
Periergos, you enter behind Brazino as he opens up into this, what can only be described as a magical office or library of some kind. It looks like the study of some thaumaturge of some kind. And it has obviously not been used for quite a while, but there are still scrolls and papers all over the place that seem readable.
And does it seem like we're in any like we're not under a time crunch right now?
No, it's still actually morning time.
Okay.
At this point.
So Nico's kind of geeked out. What is kind of giving him the vibe as being like the most interesting kind of unique artifacty type thing here?
Well, the dais.
Okay.
Yes, is very unusual.
So he steps kind of up to it, and he begins like a 10-minute ritual to kind of
identify,
figure out. Excellent. Yeah, to figure out what's going on with it.
Okay. Periergos, though, it is your turn to kind of. Well, actually, I take that back. Fanase, because you kind of sacrificed a turn getting over here. Why don't we start with you? Is there anything immediately that strikes you as something to look at while you're in here?
It is basically like a lot of
it's a library,
scrolls, and I guess I want to. Is there one shelf that's particularly bigger than the others?
Yes, this one over here. Oh, I can't. I can't do the ping when I'm not. This one over here is the largest, but there are one chest right here and another smaller chest right here that don't appear to be, library shelves or have scrolls or parchments on them, and could potentially possess something aside from paper.
Are they identical in look and style?
No.
And just size is different? Oh,
yes.
Okay.
One is larger and made of wood, and one is smaller and like bound in metal. It looks to be.
I'm gonna go for the metal one.
Okay. That would be this one down here.
Yeah.
It is small and light enough for you to pick up. It does have a little bit of heft to it, but you can certainly pick it up.
Okay.
But it is most certainly locked with some kind of key mechanism, a rudimentary key mechanism.
I'd like to. Is it like a padlock, or is it? Is it like? Oh, okay. All right.
Yes.
I'm gonna pull out my warhammer and try to smash the mechanism so that it opens. Like smash the chest itself and see if it just breaks open.
Okay. Give me. Interesting. This is interesting.
Like set it on the ground and then just like cue it up like I'm chopping wood. Yeah.
Okay. So go ahead and give me an attack roll on it.
Okay. I'll bless it if it doesn't go well.
Sure.
But come on, Warhammer. Why don't you? Oh, there we go.
It's a mimic.
Just a normal roll?
Just a normal roll, like you're attacking it with your Warhammer.
Yeah. I'm gonna. Oh, it's a 19.
Uh-huh.
And that's two-handed as well.
Two-handed as well. Yeah. Okay. You smack that thing, and you hear a satisfying crunch, and it definitely pops open. Roll a D100 for me, please.
Oh boy!
Yeah.
Oh no!
Nice.
Never be a good idea.
What could go wrong?
Oh boy. Okay. Here go.
Would you have warned me first?
Take
mean,
cover.
We're in the middle of
Barbarian.
we're in the middle of a
He's
very
doing the
magical
barbarian
area.
thing.
A 27.
As you smash this thing and it like kind of splinters open, you hear the breaking of glass inside.
Oh.
And as you open it up, you see that there were 10 vials inside. And only 2 survived your attack. The rest of them are broken inside.
I like my hammer is hovering over the smashed chest, and like I finally like as the pause like is there, and I haven't lifted the hammer because now I've seen like kind of the glass like going other ways. I'm afraid to see if there's anything left. And I just look around. And
Like, did anybody notice?
well, it's not gold. And I just remove the hammer and put it away very slowly. And bite my tongue.
Very funny. Fakira, what would you like to do immediately as you enter the room?
I go over and I very gingerly start picking up pieces of broken chest off of things, and I try to like find a stick or something to like dig around and see what they look like.
The 2 vials you recognize as elixirs of health.
Oh no.
They heal you for a D8, or I believe it's a D4 plus 4, and also can cure some minor ailments such as poison or stun or some other status effects. So if you want to collect those 2 potions, 2 elixirs of health.
Pick them up, one in each hand, and I kind of like give them a little wiggle to drip off the bits.
The other stuff.
Yeah. And I'm like, well, you opened it. Here. And I hand them both.
I immediately go, no, I can handle myself just fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
Buddy. And I offer them up to whoever.
Okay, so go ahead and add that to. Those are not an item I believe you'll find in the standard stuff. So when we come around to it, just write them in there, and I'll tell
2
you how
elixirs of health.
That's pretty sweet that they can cure poison too.
Yes.
It does it at the same time?
Yes.
Like gives you both?
Yes,
Nice.
both. Periergos, you are up now.
So I'm immediately drawn to the scrolls and the papers kind of strewn about. So I guess I'll move to the most interesting looking one, if it's the closest, and just kind of start sifting through them and seeing if I can read anything.
Yes. You find extensive notes on a abjuration magic. Whoever this thaumaturge was, they were quite adept in this kind of magic, and as you start to like browse through them, you see that they transitioned away from that to divination magic. And the work on divination magic, you don't necessarily understand it, but you can tell that it's much newer and it's much more elementary in terms of like, you know, the scrolls that were written about abjuration were written by somebody who knew what they were doing, and the scrolls about divination are like, here's what you need to learn about divination. So more like learning scrolls as opposed to scrolls written by somebody who knew what they were doing.
Okay. I'm going to relay this to Nico. Since I noticed.
I don't think I can. Yeah, I don't think I can. So Nico is kind of like that nerdy dude in class who just nothing can break his focus. Like he's
I guess
really,
it'd be Fakira, right?
Yeah, he's really focused on figuring out what this.
So since I'm standing by her, I'm gonna let her know about what I found.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
You think this has anything to do with our blue man?
Would I?
It immediately seems unlikely to you because these are like really old.
He didn't seem that old.
Do we get a vibe that the stink in here is kind of like the stink of that dude at the temple that sent us on their way?
Nope. And there isn't really a stink in this room. It's kind of just old smell.
Just old. Okay.
Was this stink just that he stunk of booze? Like
exactly.
Okay. Gotcha.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
He's just a little drunk. Okay.
Okay. I think I'm gonna move on to Brazino. Brazino, you have opened this door for everyone, and now you are looking into a library.
So where was the other chest?
It
Yes.
was over here.
I'm going there.
Let me see your warhammer, Thanaze.
And I'm gonna check. Oh, exactly.
I put it away.
Let me show you how it's done, baby.
Oh.
So
this one is not locked.
awesome. So I smash it anyways.
Give me the attack roll. Give me
No.
I just turned
Does he
away
even
like,
check?
no, Eric's the best. What have I done?
So I open it.
You open it up, and in there is folded a mite-eaten like cloak, and you begin to like move it around and pull it apart. And it looked like it was probably very nice, but has been deteriorated by some kind of insect that kind of chewed it apart. But as you shift and fold them, a wooden rod slips from the folds and bounces at your feet.
Oh, I pick it up.
It is smooth and ornate and clearly has a handle carved into one end and comes to a point at the other. And a symbols that you recognize as associated with Afara mark the long shaft of it.
Interesting. So who's near me here?
Nico's standing behind you, concentrating very hard, and it looks like Periargos and Fakira are over by the bookcase.
Okay. Is there any? I kind of finished rummaging through the chest then really quick. Is there anything else in there?
No, most of it's like clothing of some kind. You get the feeling that they are the raiments of a thaumaturge, that
Right.
much like a chemist or something walking into their office, the person who worked there would come in and put on their raiments and then begin their work, and this is where their raiments were, basically.
You said it was Afara?
Ifara, yes. And there, as you look around to see who is paying attention, you also notice the desk that is behind Nico in the corner, and on it, still almost preserved as the last day it was written on, looks to be a pad of paper, like parchment of just like open paper, and basically like the old dried up ink and writing utensil is still sitting on the desk.
Looks like a Valentine.
Has that little heart on it. Yeah,
Yeah.
It looks more like scrolls as described. Yeah.
Well, all right, I'll go over to the letter for the parchment.
Take a look.
Yeah.
It's kind of a little garbled, but very legible. So you see this.
Ooh.
Do you want to read it out loud for everyone?
Sure. And as I pick it up, and I have to read it out loud because I can't read to myself.
Excellent.
Yeah, so I pick it up. This all may be much more difficult than I thought. Finding a connection below is not good enough. All of the subjects that have come through have damaged memories. Only a small glimpse is clear to them, and it seems to infuriate them. Not a single one has been cooperative, and in fact they have attempted to harm at every possible chance. Fortunately, I warded the portal so they cannot escape from below. If I plan to locate Tassos by searching for his thoughts, I must find the way to overcome this barrier. Go deep into the Psyche that cannot be inhibited. I wish I had focused more on the divining arts while I was at the Decatia. I miss you, Tassos. I look up and I say, Apollonios Kako, and then I look up and I'm like,
Cacao.
does that mean anything to anybody? And I actually am looking around too to see if anybody was even listening to me.
What I found in the scrolls here, it does mean a lot. He was a novice at some things.
Yeah, Fakira and Fanase would know what I told you guys about the other room. Like, there was definitely a connection to below. It was lit up with crystals and stuff like that.
Oh. We're here to find returned, right?
Music.
Just a change of the mood.
Yeah.
Dun-dun-dun.
I like it.
You think he was practicing bringing them back? And I give a very wary look at the dais in the middle of the room.
I go, oh yes, I found this, and I hold up the rod, kind of towards our two potential casters, Nico and Kira.
I asked Nico, I go, I didn't get a very good look, but and I don't know my numbers very well. Do you think the hole in the other room is the same size as the hole or the dais in this room?
No.
I mean, he's paying pretty close attention, but like, I think so. At this point, Andy, like, I'm not sure like how far into this I am, and like what I can do, what's capable for Nico, because I think his priority is to figure out the dais, but like, is he able to
Yes, you
Like
we'll
chew bubble gum
just
and walk
kind
at the
of
same time?
like coalesce it all into one part. As long as since this isn't
Yeah, there
combat,
we go.
it's not like they've been like going for like 6 seconds at a time. They've been taking their time and
Yeah.
looking through things, and as this information comes out, you finish your spell of identification.
Okay.
It is a teleportation circle. By standing on it and saying the appropriate word, you will be teleported to where the other end of it is. As for the question of is it the same size as the other one, no, the hole in the other room is much larger.
It's bigger.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's what Nico was gonna say. Okay, so do we know the word, Andy, or do we need to kind of search the room to find the word? Like, do I know it? How to use it?
You know that there is a word, and
okay.
You have your companions have already searched the room to some capacity, and I'm sure you can use the information provided to you to come up with something.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm assuming I overheard kind of what Brazino was saying. So, Brazino, and I do believe we could use this.
Would you like me to reread the letter?
Well, I'm curious, though. Perhaps on that letter, is there any of the words really stand out to you?
No, I would have to reread the letter. Yeah, perhaps you read letter.
Hold on, let me pull it up here. Is it Journal Scroll 2?
Yes, okay, Journal Scroll 2.
Okay. It's old, it's water wrecked. I mean, it's got Tassos like really bolded there. So is this a thing that do we want to test this out kind of Scooby-Doo style and step on up in there and say the word Tassos?
The question is, do you all do it at once? Because it's 5 feet. Right. You can all like stand on it at once if you wanted to.
Oh,
right. I say if we do it, we all do it together.
Yeah, because I think there's no way if all of us walk into that other room, that floor is going to fall through anyway.
There's other doors outside of this room though, right?
No, this is the those are like window kind of slits. Those are not doors.
I mean, we haven't searched like where that cooking devices and stuff were, but it just looked open and kind of destroyed. Mm-hmm. So I know they say curiosity has killed the cat before, but we've got 4 cats here, and we've got our ranger Kira. I think there's time for heroes right now. Would you guys like to come with me?
I'm already on it, by the way.
Okay.
I'm already standing on it. If you look over, I'm just standing there like,
let's go.
Yeah, like, I mean, I feel like Leonin, like, we're kind of like, we always have to be brave, right? Like, that's kind of our brand like from Oreskos. It's like, we're going to do the brave thing most times.
Yeah, I strut up to it, but as soon as my feet hit that stone and like the designs, it feels quite real, and I shift a little bit. I don't like this. I don't like this, but I'm not going to say anything.
What do we know about the downfall of the family that used to own this estate?
You didn't ask any questions about it.
Nope, we didn't. Nope. Cool.
All
right, she hops right on up. She says, "Excuse me, hold on, just need a little." Yep, okay.
Actually, why don't you give me an insight check? Hold on, before you do that, because you might know a little bit. You might be able to connect a word or a name.
I'm gonna bless it. 13.
You don't have to roll very high to remember that the ruling family who kind of presides over Alekos, their last name is Ketko. So this family, this estate was related to them in somehow, and they still persist today.
Okay. But they gave up the estate.
Yes, definitely they seem to have given up this estate.
Interesting.
So do you all go step on the dais?
Yeah.
But before the other guys come up, though, Nico notices that wand that Bronzino has, and he's like, "Bronzino, mind if I check that out?" And he's just worried about them breaking, like the two muscle heads.
Yeah, I
breaking
hand it right over.
And he kind of just sticks it in his kit because they're already on to the next thing. But
Excellent.
he's gonna check it out later.
Like it's a stick as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, he sees the 8 like vials crashed all over the place. He could just picture like Theros' version of marshmallows roasting on the end of it later tonight.
Excellent. So you all stand on the dais, and what do you say?
Shit.
I mean, I feel like we could test out a couple words, but I feel like the bold word is Tassos.
And I'm assuming you say that as you say.
So yeah,
it,
so he's gonna.
you feel like a tingling on the top of your head, like a million ants all erupting from the very tippy top of your head, and then they quickly make their way all the way down your neck. And as they do, your vision blurs for a moment.
Are we all feeling this?
All of you are feeling this. Yes, each one of you.
Yes. And none of us have teleported before, I'm guessing.
No, you
This
have
is all
not.
new for everybody. Cool. Okay, cool.
And
Awesome.
then, after a while, because I need to pull your character tokens in. I'm so good at this, by the way. You all appear, and you'll have to do a little bit of adjusting on your tokens because the tokens are all from earlier on. I will pull you to where you end up.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun.
Oh boy.
Oh, wow.
Oh, cool. It's the crystal.
That's so cool.
Yes. A
Beautiful.
cave of almost purple dirt and these large green crystals which emanate a faint light. The room has almost nothing in it, this section of the cave, but it is fairly obvious that the cave has been manipulated, most likely by magic, to be bigger than it was.
Okay. Do we feel like there's a
That's
living?
not the right music.
Do we feel like there's a spider waiting to eat us in that big old web?
You go look at the web.
Okay.
And it is a very large web. It is a very large web.
Fakira, you seem to be the best at survival. What do you say? And do these crystals look identical to what I saw when I was looking down that hole?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
You feel
So
like this is relatively the same
I
area.
pass that on to everybody, although I guess only Fanaze and Fakira really know that. But just, man, these all look awfully similar to those crystals. And is it possible to pick a crystal off, kind of like, and hold it as like a light source?
Maybe.
Okay.
It might take a little bit of time, though,
Or
to
hammer.
do so.
We
but
can all see now, right?
There's enough light for all of you to see
Cool.
inside of here.
Is it
Oh,
dim
yeah.
or bright?
So Nico just kind of puts his nail up next to it, but then he stops.
It's dim, but still enough light that it kind of reflects off of everything. And this would be a great time for you all to switch your backgrounds.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, good point.
What
Dun, dun,
are you after?
I'm sure it's going to be named something terrible, right?
The gemstone cavern, I think is one.
I like it.
And that's a very old magic. Cam, yep. Try
It's
tapping
cool.
it.
It's the one from the mission photo.
I sent it in the Discord.
So we've got
Did I
Theros
not send it in the
City.
Discord?
I don't think so. We've got City, Forest.
Oh, never mind. It didn't
Water.
pop up. So I'm sorry. Yeah. If you want something a little more appropriate, the sunken grave will do, but this is not accurate. Or we could all just do the cave from
Do the cave, yeah.
the last time. Yeah,
It was good luck the last time.
Yes.
We'll just imagine it's green and purple.
Yes, indeed. Okay. I would like to do initiative order again, but we're gonna re-roll since we're on a new map. So go ahead and select your tokens, and give it a go. Fanaze got a 17.
Ooh, I can't. For some reason, it's
Time
not letting me
spiral,
choose.
excellent. Yeah.
I'm not sure why it's not letting me choose my guy.
Let me double check to make sure that it is set for you.
Oh, I got it now. I got it.
Okay.
That's weird. Nico and Perry battle for the bottom.
Battle for the bottom. Excellent.
Hold on. No, you don't know that yet.
There we go.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
If Akira though.
Fakira, you are up first. You can kind of lead things as they go. Basically, feel free to move around until I tell you to stop or something. Similarly.
I'm going to. First of all, anyone who looks at Fakira will notice that her eyes look a little bit different. It looks like there's a little bit of like an opal sheen across both of her eyes now, which you've never noticed before, but it's much more pronounced now that the lighting is a bit dimmer. She's looking around. She's like, "Whoa," and she kind of just walks towards the opening a bit just to get an idea of where they are and stop short of the creepy web. Just kind of like tries to get an idea of how much dust is on the web.
Nice. Roll for dust.
You examine the web, and the web is still very much serviceable. It's sticky, and it covers almost the whole breadth of this opening, almost as if it was purposefully put there to keep anyone using the portal from walking in without going through it.
She takes a couple steps back and informs everyone else. Does not like it.
How thick is this web? Like, can we see it like we see it like that? Is it thick strings? Is it
not? So maybe. Let's see here. So a strand of rope. It is about a 16th of a strand of rope, which is rather large for web. And that makes you think that whatever creature made this web is quite large as well.
Okay. And we do feel like it's a large creature and not necessarily like a web spell of some sort.
It's possible.
So are we in an order right now, or are we still kind of all?
Yeah, you're in an order. So basically,
Okay.
Fakira had like one more thing that she could do.
She's speaking quietly.
Speaking quietly, and then it will be Fanaze's turn.
Warhammer.
If you don't want to do anything, we can move on to Fanaze.
Actually,
but
Yeah,
Fanaze,
no,
what do you do?
that's it. That's all.
I do trust Bakira, but I do go up to see it. And I just want to get a closer look at it. I'm gonna pull out my trident and just kind of like twang one of the like. I want to like see how much twang it has, like how much it, like how taut is this web, and how does it stick a lot to the trident?
Yes, it
yeah.
does, but your blade also cuts it as you like put the sharp edge to it. You could
Okay.
cut your way out of this. It's
Yeah.
it's sticky enough that if you feel like if you just like jumped into it, it would inhibit
Yeah.
you, but it
Right.
would require more than this to just like
Okay.
get you.
Then I'm gonna do what I wanted to do. I'm gonna stick it in and twirl it like spaghetti and try to get
Spaghetti,
it
yeah.
and like go up and down with it and really try to like take out as much as I can.
Like cotton candy machine kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. that's the big
You
thing.
twirl it up, and it's actually requires like a bit of strength from you to like get it off. Not enough to make you roll, but you definitely have to tug at the corners to get it out. But after a while, it doesn't quite like go cotton candy-ish because it's so much of it. You have like a ball and then like extra strands like all hanging off of it, and tiny bits of it stick to you, and you just kind of have to like pull it off. You have cobwebs or like webbing on you now.
Oh.
And is the trident pretty much like completely balled up with this?
It would
stuff on
be
the tip
really
of it?
hard to use balled up like that.
Oh.
Right. That's fine. That's fine. I figured some. Yeah. Like I kind of. I like go to put my foot to like slide it off, and I'm like, but I see it on my fur, and I'm like, and I'm like looking around, like I look over at Brazino, I'm like, maybe your sword could cut some of this off.
We're gonna be weapons free.
And I look over at and I'm like, well, maybe fire
good torch.
or I don't know, but I got other weapons, and I just put it on my back and. Yeah, and I grab something else, but I. So is there a way through now? Like
Yes,
or,
you all
okay.
can move through.
So I think it was 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Okay, so I can go a little bit. 30, 35. Right on the diagonal, and that's it, I guess.
Okay. You see quite a bit of light coming from right over here. And basically it's you can see up from there that there is that's where the hole coming through the floor is. So you could have come down from right there for sure.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Well, yeah, I've already said and done a lot, so I feel like.
All right, Brazino, you just watched your companion remove the webbing. I don't know if you used your sword to help him get it free.
No. So how tall is the ceiling in this place?
It is almost 15 feet tall. It's pretty high up.
Okay. So I'm gonna start following my companion, but I'm kind of looking up and around too. Smart. Checking the ceiling and so forth, so that nothing's going to descend on top of my head.
Give me a perception check then. Please, no phase spiders.
Give him ideas.
Brazino.
Hiding on the ceiling, you see it. It is not particularly large, but it is it's not monstrously large, but it is quite large for a normal spider. Let me put the token on here. And it's kind of hanging out over here in the corner, like sucked into like a depression in the ceiling, trying desperately not to be seen by you, but you see it. You see some of the gemstones reflecting out of its eyes. By the way, trigger warning for spiders, anyone. There will be spiders most certainly in this episode. So
I hate spiders.
Yeah, spider suck.
drive out to Pozo and the freaking tarantulas are like going across the road. Yeah. Oh.
Plenty of spiders to come.
Yay.
Yay. Maybe.
Yeah, Christian, if you ever visit the Central Coast, we'll take you on a tour of the spiders.
Of the
Wonderful. Wonderful.
So he knocked down the web, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm just gonna so 5, 10. And it's 15 feet high?
Yes.
So I guess I will pull out a spear. I'm gonna come over to here and I'm gonna chuck a spear at it.
Go ahead, make your attack roll.
Actually, hold on.
Javelin?
Javelin.
Crit!
Oh, crit!
nice.
Damn, Andy.
Ooh.
Wow.
Tell me how this flies.
Yeah, baby.
So it's more like I was kind of, trying to get everybody's attention, like pointing, like spider, and then I just run up about 10 feet and just throw it right at it. And
It skewers it right through its like whatever the face portion of the spider is. I can't remember.
The mandibles.
The mandibles and
Is that what it is?
into
Okay.
the head portion, and you see it just stick out its arms and then begin to like wriggle as it slides down and pops onto the floor and then hurls up dead with a weird hissing.
That's awesome.
sound.
I go up and put a foot on it and grab my javelin and yank it out and say, "I was worried I was going to lose another javelin."
Nice.
No, this creature didn't seem too resilient. But you can't help but notice as you stick your foot on it and pull your javelin out, the
Oh, God.
very large mandibles it has on it. And it seems to have very powerful legs, which are still like pulsing as it goes through its death throats.
Uh-oh.
Just a regular ass spider.
No worries.
Um,
No worries, mate.
you are drawn to one more bit of bizarreness about it. As it wriggles around in its death pains, you see lodged squarely on its abdomen is a golden mask. The mask of the returned. It seems to be like growing out of its abdomen, its carapace.
Oh.
So it's like growing out of it.
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna stick that with my javelin and try and.
It's actual metal. As you like stab it, it is an actual mask.
Right, but does it like have an eye hole or anything?
No, actually it does. It has like these little slits to see through, but you couldn't stick your javelin through it.
Okay, what about the side of it? Like try and pop it out.
Oh, you want to try and pop it out?
Yeah.
Yeah, after a little bit, you actually manage to like break it off, but as you do, like the skin and everything comes with it. It was all attached to it. You get the feeling that your god's shadow may be involved.
Oh.
Are you aware of the myth of the creation of Ouroboros?
No.
That when the first sun shone, it created a shadow of Heliod. And
Right.
that shadow became Ouroboros, the god of the dead. And Heliod was so disgusted by his shadowed brother, he cast him into the underworld.
Well,
Do we
it
think
is,
this
it
is a
is
gateway to the
disgusting.
underworld?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Do we think this is like a gate to the underworld?
You don't know. It's possible. It is Nico's turn, though.
Okay, so Nico has kind of seen this mask, and he's also seen the spaghetti fork, and so he kind of is like, "Hey, Faunazé, can you do me a favor? Put your big spaghetti fork there next to the gold mask down there by the spider, please. And then what he'd like to do, he's going to kind of explain, like, he's going to use Perforos's fire and just melt away like all the web from the trident and melt away like all the flesh from the gold mask so that we could take the gold mask with us. Because you said it was kind of like attached, and I guess to see like if the web is flammable, kind of. So like if it doesn't burn, then he learns that little bit of info. But if it does burn, then my guy Fanazé has his trident back, and hopefully we got a little treasure.
Excellent.
All right, I'll lay it down.
And I guess I'll so that I don't like go like have like a crazy shot. I'm gonna kind of come like kind of right up to them.
All right. You light it on fire and it does burn. The air fills, the web burns. So does the spider. The spider like burns, and it kind of like wriggles around as it like burns up here, and it starts to fill like the smoke. The smoke starts to fill the cavern, and
oh no,
it kind of like wafts up and goes out.
The
hole that's
the
over
hole.
here.
Okay,
but you know the smoke is also not comfortable to like exist in.
Okay, so it's kind of like burning plastic almost. Like in real life,
I mean, it's just like creating smoke. You know. It's not fun.
And then is the gold mask sitting there like hot?
Yeah, it also kind of gets soft in the flames a little bit.
Interesting.
Because it's gold. But you pick it up and the details are kind of muddled by it.
Okay.
Would you like to do anything else, or?
I think that's really it. Other than like I'm not sure who the treasure hobo is, because I'll give them the gold.
Oh, it's bad juju to collect the masks returned.
Oh, it is?
Yes, that treasure belongs to the underworld, and those who possess it will quickly find themselves in the underworld.
And Nico would have known that.
Everybody knows that, yes.
Okay.
It is.
Is there a place to put it, like, out of respect? So, like...
Yes, you can hold on to it for a little bit and put it in, like, a funerary kind of thing, but... Perry, it is Perry's turn. What are you doing, Perry?
So I want to move up here beyond the destroyed web and take a look around this corner by the crystals.
You see down into what looks like a workshop of some kind. You see desks, and further down you see kind of like a work desk and what looks like an old glass blowing kind of setup. There's also webs in this area, but instead of going across things, it goes over the top of the cave. So you could walk through here without really having to push through the webs.
Can I see above through the web if there's anything in the ceiling?
You'd have to roll a perception check.
Okay, I'll do that. Probably not.
No, if something is hiding up there, you cannot see it. But also, you see in the dim light, far, far over here, a large mass of crystal. Far over here, you see a large mass of crystal emitting light and cages surrounding that crystal. You can see the haunched figures of people inside of them as they shift uncomfortably in these small cages.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my friends, do you see that over there? And I'm going to point toward the cages. Yes. I believe we found what our friend was writing about.
Are you all brave enough to walk over?
No. But yes.
Yes.
Personally, no.
Of course, we're heroes.
Definitely.
Carefully.
All right.
Careful.
Yeah, I'm carefully walking behind Brazino.
Why doesn't everybody give me a stealth check to move close to the edge of this cavern?
Yeah, stealth is my specialty.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice.
Bless.
And if you
Gonna bless.
believe that.
Gonna bless.
Gonna bless. Gonna bless.
Gonna bless.
I need to remove 3 blesses from you, Janelle.
Yeah.
Oh,
I now
Nico.
only have 3 left.
Just it feels a lot like Dark Kingdoms right now.
Oops. Why did it roll? I wasn't holding.
Because of your armor, you automatically get disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you want to bless
9.
that?
Yes,
Okay.
I do.
I'm keeping track. I just need to change them. I'm sorry.
A 1d4, correct?
That is correct.
1. So I've got a 10.
10. All right. Everybody move over to the edge of this cavern so I can explain to you what you see. Basically right there. Thank you so much for the follow.
Welcome.
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 All right. A large cavern opens up in front of you. Cages centered around a large installation of crystals. Inside the cages, you see individuals shift and sit or slump. These individuals look to be alive after having been here for a very long time. And as you start to get closer, you can see the light glinting off of their masks. As the green light from the crystal illuminates, you see that they are returned in these cages. You also notice the bodies that seem to be wrapped up in webbing, stuck in corners here and there. Further beyond the crystal, you see an ominous purple light emitting from what looks like a large crack in the earth. Perhaps a way down to the underworld. But before any of you can move to investigate further,
Nico steps on a bone.
Crunch.
coming from down below, let's see here if I can, in the corner, you see an enormous arachnid begin to move.
From where?
It's taken up like 5, 10, 15, 20. It's like 20 feet across.
No, 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 no.
No, 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 no.
This is her internal, like...
It crawls across the ceiling over to the top of the crystal, and you can see its carapace is covered in golden masks which seem to armor its body, and it spews out a burst of webbing down below it onto the returned in the cages as it approaches towards you and screams a bloody, bloodthirsty cry. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Theros, Tomorrow's Twilight.
TPK, baby!
Yep, TPK.
Let's do this.
Yep.
So can I just clarify something, Andy?
Real quick. Sure.
So we observed the spider actually like kind of power up when he climbed onto the crystals?
No, he didn't power up. The crystals
No.
don't seem to be powering the...
Okay. So that's just kind of where he is.
Yes.
And then we
He
saw
is-
the crazy
He
shit.
is on the ceiling, like coming towards
Okay.
you.
And is the hole above him? The hole in the roof
I guess.
The hole in the roof is behind you.
is behind us. That's where that white spot is. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, we're getting close to 10 o'clock, so embarking into a epic boss battle would not be. we would be probably going all the way to like 11:30. But thank you so much for joining us tonight for the third episode of Theros Tomorrow's Twilight. As you can see, the crew have gotten themselves into quite a sticky situation. Will they be able to survive this giant arachnid? And is that really a pathway to the underworld behind it? That could be very bad for Alekos and potentially Theros as well. I'm going to kill this crazy battle music. I'd like to do some shout outs and some just general administrative work here. I'd like to say thank you to Andy the Math Magician, our favorite mod. You're doing an awesome job with Rhyme of the Frost Maiden, buddy, and I have absolutely loved Indigo in your one-shots on TGT. Keep it up, buddy, and thank you so much for being here. Jason Furman, go check out Jason's writing Twitch streams. I have learned a bunch about how to organize thoughts watching them for writing. He also does a great book review, so go on over and check him out.
Yeah. And the artwork of himself like put into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some very good humor as well there. L2S, Late to the Show Entertainment. Great streams on world building. Great late night game library stuff. Go check out L2, please. And we got anybody doing shout outs? Got anybody doing shout outs? I don't know.
Here, I'll drop them in there.
Thank you so much. Janelle, you're the best neighbor ever. Thank you so much. I think we're having internet trouble tonight out here.
So.
Because I've noticed we've dropped a lot of frames in the game as well. But that's your lot when you live out in the countryside. And please check us out Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for Dark Kingdoms. Ryan will be back. Melee After Dark will be our Dungeon Master, and you can see myself, Eric, Jason, and Matt be evil people and hopefully evil-ish. And it's quite a bit of fun.
We're pretty freaking evil.
Yeah,
I mean, me.
There's no ish about it.
Pretty freaking evil.
Gotta lure him in though.
I have been not great about doing the Sunday paint streams. I apologize. Life is life sometimes. Hopefully I'll be back at it this Sunday. I'll let you know on the Discord. If you are not part of our community, go ahead and join our Discord to see announcements and just join the general conversation. We're so happy to have all of you here. Yeah, absolutely. Check out our VODs. We're working on getting our YouTube all caught up as well. Jump on the Discord. You can find all of our information there. Keep up with us every Monday. 7. We're gonna move to 7 p.m. We were doing it at 7:30, but we're moving to 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time now. Thank you so much, and we'll see you back in Theros next Monday. Thank you so much. Stick around. We'll do a raid. I'm gonna run the outro credits, and we'll do a raid here in a second. Bye bye.